Yeah, thanks guys for the subs. All right, let's go.
Watch and look at yourself, your past games, and your mentality.
That's probably really bad.
And you compare as you go.
Oh, and by the way, Thanovic, he said on Twitter he made this video when he was like tilted. So he said like, this is a look out for that.
The next rule: do not make excuses.
Hold on, what did he say?
I ask you to watch and look at yourself, your past games, and your mentality, and you compare as you go. The next rule: do not make excuses. You will find times where you'll want to make excuses.
The editing is kind of cool. Honestly, maybe I get Cadence to help me do that. Where you like turn it. I can't do that with Vegas, but
please don't.
Cadence can probably work on that.
The last rule is that you understand.
That's cool,
I am
bro.
saying these
Motion
things
tracking.
coming from a place of wanting the best for you.
Like, you guys don't understand, like that type of editing takes like probably like, I don't know, maybe he has some software to do it, but that takes like 15 20 extra minutes, like get exactly right.
Do not
Like,
say these things to
not
offend
easy
you
to do
or
at all.
upset you. Now, I know this seems to
I
set
think
this
he has
video
an
up for a
editor, I'm not
weirdly
sure.
dark subject and seems like
It's Will Height. It's Will Height. Thank you.
it's not going to
The
be
5
all
get
fun and
subs.
friendly.
And
but
the
the plan for this video is to basically explain to you in all honesty where you're going wrong.
Thank you.
I am not going to sugarcoat anything.
Guys, he stole Sunless series. Why you suck at Rocket League, guys? Everyone exposed Stanovic.
I'm going to be
Thank you.
blatant in the hope that it gets through to you and makes improvement for you that little bit easier.
No, I'm just kidding.
One of the things I
People always
see
do
most
that,
in people
though.
is
It's like-
something we are all guilty of, which
I know.
is blame. The choice to blame your teammates when a mistake is made, blame an opponent for bumping, blame the service for being laggy. We have all done it. It is a
That is
part of
true.
every game you play.
I've done this. I can't
But
lie.
where you make a far greater mistake is when you look for ways to blame those around you,
How's the
while
volume
also
levels, by the way?
simultaneously disregarding your own mistakes in the process.
Facts.
Players tend to have a sort of power complex while in a game, feeling as if they are the best player on the field. And while a
True.
goal might have been conceded because of them, it ultimately comes down to their teammate not performing to the standard that they expect. This mindset of blame without ownership leads you down a very, very dangerous path of never understanding when you are in the wrong and you are
Facts.
causing the problem. You might be in a situation where your action 2 or 3 steps before you get scored on leads to the domino effect that results in the goal.
True.
If you hadn't hit the ball away for no reason, the other team wouldn't have got it for free, leading them to dribble down the field and score on your teammate. If you hadn't gone for boost while you had a decent amount,
I remember
your
Squishy
teammate
said
would have
that.
had enough boost to challenge as the first man and wouldn't get beat,
like
leaving you in a
super long
2v1,
time ago. That
which
always
then
stuck
gets
with
you
me.
scored on.
Like,
Understand
you can
that
always do something better.
While you might not be the goalkeeper or the last man at the time, your actions or lack of actions a few steps before the goal
Danovic's getting
might
good.
have been the reason the
Look at
goal was
his
scored.
mechanics, bro.
And the best way to figure this out is to watch replays. Go to when a goal was scored and then go 20 seconds back. Follow yourself and see what you could have done to prevent it before the lead up even happened. Blame is everywhere in this game, but eliminating blame from your mindset and looking at each of these situations as a frame of what could I have done to prevent this is going to help you much more in the long run than just saying, well, my teammate should have got that, that's not my fault. Now, this channel is built on the foundations of
I hope he shows examples.
eliminating happened. Follow yourself and see what you're
I think I
the
hope he will.
foundations of over 100 tutorial videos highlighting different forms of
Yeah, the music kind of reminds me of like an inspirational documentary, doesn't it? Type 7 if you agree with that. Just like the music alone is like
training and
inspirational
ways to
music.
improve mechanics. But what needs to be explained to those of you who do follow this channel
Lots of sevens in
and
the
those
chat.
who take advice from others is that
I'm
while
about to cry.
flashy mechanics are fun, you need to train the basics.
That's
And
true.
where many of you go wrong is you refuse to train what you know is useful because you deem it to be boring. Some things that are essential to your gameplay are overlooked and replaced by things like flip resets and air
What's up,
dribbles.
Gam?
And yes,
Tito
I
takes 100
understand
bits,
I
man.
can personally take some of the blame for that, as I often show myself going for these kind of shots.
Yeah, that's true.
But if
All
you
the clips
find
you've shown in the
yourself
video so
stuck in
far
a
have been
rank,
pretty good.
or you
Pretty
are someone
fancy.
that says, I'm play at 3, but I can double flip reset. You need to understand
Oh
that.
man, that's one of the
yes,
most cringiest
while
comments
that's great,
ever.
there's still a
can't lie.
reason that you're in plat 3. If double flip resets were enough to get you out,
Yeah,
you
okay,
simply-
okay. And I've had the comment, I usually get a few DMs a day saying, or even some people on Twitch chat saying like, yo, I'm the best Diamond 3 in the world. Like, I guarantee you I'm the best Diamond 3 out there. Can you like do a video with me or something? But like, bro, they're champs right above you who are better than you. You know what I mean? I don't get that kind of stuff. And just, I don't know, showing off a certain mechanic at a certain rank.
plat 3.
At the end of the day, you're still flat 3, bro. You know what I
Look at
mean?
your gameplay, isolate your mistakes, and really take in what you should be learning. If you miss a few shots in one game, try
he sounds like he's talking to like a second grade class.
Is totally an epic poggers moment.
Or to get my musty
Where
sign
did you
made?
get your musty sign made? I
Exclamation
want
point
one
musty
for my
sign.
business.
Thanks for the $20 donut, man. That's super generous of you. Yeah. Exclamation point musty sign. That dude's insane. He's probably really busy though.
So, look at your gameplay,
But he has an Instagram.
isolate your mistakes, and really take in what you should be
Take
learning.
in what you should be
if
learning,
you miss a few shots in one game,
Sounds like
try
he's talking
shooting
to,
training
like,
pack.
a
If
group
you
of
struggle to
elementary
hit the ball in
schoolers.
the air, work on your aerials and car control. But do not turn around and tell me that you have mastered aerial control and don't need to work on it when you are sitting below the supersonic legend level.
Bro,
Because
I'm Supersonic
you have
Legend.
not.
I have
You
not
are
even
blatantly
gotten
lying,
close.
and I'm gonna be real. No one believes you. Hitting a flip reset once doesn't mean you can flip reset. Hitting the ball in the air 5 times out of 10 doesn't mean you can aerial. Yes, you are in the air, and
Oh my god, he is mad, bro.
you don't need to work on it when you are sitting below the supersonic legend level. Because you have not. You are blatantly lying, and I'm gonna be real. No one believes you. Hitting a flip reset once doesn't mean you can
Oh
flip reset.
man.
Hitting the ball in the air 5 times out of 10 doesn't mean you can aerial. Yes, you are in the air, and yes, sometimes you hit the ball. But if you go up for it 10 times in a game and only hit it half the time when you aren't under pressure, you still have a very long way to go.
What a shot.
If you can
Enough
sit there
now.
and say that you have the same aerial capabilities as a pro player and you don't need to work on it anymore, yet you sit below the supersonic legend level, then you are lying to me, but more importantly, you are lying to yourself, and you will be the reason you cannot go further in this game.
Bro.
Stop pretending you are better.
It's like TED Talk vibes almost. Like I can picture Stanovic's like face like with the little mic thing right here. Like saying this like an audience of like eggs. I don't know. Like the eggs in the
than you are,
stands.
and start taking ownership over your flaws. Now, Rocket League,
Chapter 2.
as we know, is a game with no real transferable skills. It's not like a first-person shooter game where if you are really good at something like CSGO, you could transfer that and play Valorant and have the basic skills already down. With Rocket League, the only game with the skills that you can bring over is SAP, the predecessor of Rocket League.
Which
But
basically no
even
one
still,
played.
I doubt too many of you played it, and if you did,
Facts.
I doubt you're still in those lower levels, so this won't really be aimed at you.
The one SARP player that's still in plat. Sad face. What are the Pepe emojis? Like the Pepega? What's the, like the sad one? I don't know what they're called.
With that being said, players tend to
Type it in
struggle when
chat.
they
I don't know
first
if I have
start
it or
with
not.
Rocket League.
Thank you.
It's inevitable.
Sad.
And
Yeah,
the
I gotta
mistake
get
see
that. I
many
gotta work on
people
my
make is looking for shortcuts instead of understanding
go.
that it is a long-term.
What do you type in to get it? Okay, nice. Okay, yeah, it's called Feels Bad Man in my chat at least.
game. Every
Feels bad,
single
man.
thing in this game comes from training and practice. And while some of these things might only take a few attempts before it clicks, other things take a lot longer. So when I read comments like, "I can't air dribble, help me," I ask, well, how long did you train for? And the response is never a good enough response to warrant someone actually thinking that this player won't learn it. More often than not, you just are not patient enough and you haven't trained for long enough.
That's true.
A good example of this are my 100-hour videos. I come out at the end of those still needing to work on a lot, and yet there are people commenting, "Doesn't work, I don't get it," after 3 hours. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't work when you refuse to actually put the time in. You cannot sit there, watch a video of someone train for 100 hours, and then pretend your 3-hour training session is enough to say something like, "Yep, didn't work."
Yeah,
Nope.
I feel like people are like that just because in a lot of other games, I don't know, like quick scoping in Call of Duty, for example, like you can learn how to do that in like a few days. You know what I mean? Like even if you're not that good at it, you just do the same thing every time, and you can either get close hitting shots or like know the mechanics of a quick scope. But for Rocket League, like just to know the mechanics of something basic like that, like takes like
You're just lazy.
a
I'm
lot
sorry
of time
to say
to
it,
learn.
but you cannot find a shortcut to mastery.
I
You
don't know.
can't sit there and complain because you don't understand something without first putting in adequate time to learning it. If you were to put in 100 hours into aerial training, even though you haven't mastered by the end, you will have still learned something. And you can then use that new knowledge to further improve and work on what you know you have left to train. Make sense? If you give up without ever learning anything, you just haven't trained enough.
I thought he was gonna say something like, what do you say?
Ever learning anything?
If you give up without learning anything, you are a loser. I
You
could
just
Panovic,
haven't
I could
trained enough.
actually see him say something like
Might be a
that.
little complicated. The best example I can give you right now is that I am learning wall reads. Am I good at them? No. Do I still practice them every day? Yes, of course. That's how you learn.
It's facts.
Through practicing, I have managed to hit a few in training and have since learned that using the underside to get a slight touch rather than going for the nose of my car for a much more powerful touch will often lead to much more accurate touches. Now, using this knowledge, I train more and more using the underside and over time get more used to turning and rotating my car that way and making the lineups much smoother. Training always comes down to learning things step by step. Trying to learn a new mechanic all at once will frustrate you. Instead, don't take shortcuts, break it down and put the time in. A quick one that I see way too much and is actually one that kind of bothers me is I can't do this because of my controls. I saw this recently on one of my training pack shots, which was literally just jumping and boosting at the same time. Okay, well, here's two options for you. Either change your controls to make everything accessible for you because
learn how to do
jumping and
it.
boosting is essential, or stop making excuses. There are so many different control layouts even at the pro level.
Is this
If
Sanovic
having
playing?
jump on X and boost on circle is the reason
Bro,
you can't jump
he's
and boost,
getting like
then
example
ask yourself
type
why
mechanics.
so many different control layouts even at the pro level.
That's actually sick.
If having jump on X and boost on
To be fair though, that's the hardest thing that I learned in the beginning is jumping and boosting at the same time with the normal controls. So with A and B on Xbox, it's like hard to learn to get your thumb to hit boost and jump at the same time. But once you get it, like everything becomes a little bit easier.
circle
Austin, aka QWERTY, thanks for the prime, man.
is the reason you can't jump and boost, then ask yourself why Squishy has the exact same controls. It's doable, you just don't want to admit the reason is because you aren't good enough yet and haven't trained hard enough yet. Stop making excuses or you will never progress. The last thing I want you to do when you get into a game with a Smurf, see it as the perfect opportunity to watch over the replay and give yourself the easiest way for you to understand and realize where you are making mistakes. I see a lot of people talking about Smurfs and blaming their lack of progression on Smurfs, and yes, I understand it is incredibly frustrating and there is nothing you can do in those situations in the moment. But to spin it around and make it a good thing, save the replay. Watch it back from their point of view and look for those holes in your
True.
defense that allowed them to score. You might be completely outclassed, but you can still pick up certain things from their gameplay.
Yeah, it's hard
you
not
can
to
then
get
bring
mad
into
though
your own.
when you're playing against someone
You are allowed to get upset at
who's
Smurfs. but
basically cheating.
I would
Like, you're not
advise
allowed to do
against
that,
it
like Smurfing.
and instead try to see everything as a learning opportunity.
But yeah, that's true. Look at
Remember,
it from a
at the
different
end of the day,
perspective. That makes
your
sense.
rank does not matter. You will get out eventually if you work hard enough.
Just pixels.
Losing 100 MMR today means nothing because once you improve and you get rid of some flaws, you slowly gain MMR. And then all of a sudden, you're back up 100 MMR where you were at the beginning. And then a few days later, you're up another 50 MMR. It's all about playing the long game.
The long
If
con,
I got
baby.
annoyed every time I lost a game in Diamond and I started to blame everyone and not work on training, I wouldn't have broken through to Champ. And then Grand Champ. These things didn't come immediately. though.
I didn't see any
I have
raid.
thousands of hours for a reason. And so, if you want to improve...
By the way, can we get any mods in chat? Any mods in chat? We can get an exclamation point current video command, maybe? Exclamation point add comment, exclamation point current video, and then just basically like search this video and just put the link to it if you want. Just so
really
you guys can go watch it.
Instead of looking at every obstacle
like
as a
it or
reason as to
whatever.
why you are stuck, look at it as the next thing to work on. I promise you, over time, with this kind of mentality, you will get there. So, reaching the end of the video, I hope you stuck to those 3 rules I gave you at the start. I said this wasn't going to be a happy, fun video, more of a serious look at the community and its efforts to save their pride when
music is,
discussing
like,
ranks.
making
But
it seem so
nevertheless,
serious.
I hope you enjoyed. I look forward to reading the comments. I feel like I might...
See what these comments are looking like. Hold on, yeah, and then I'll put current video in the title. Alright. Harsh, assertive, kind of motivating. Perfectly explained. Yeah, it was a good video, Alright.